Back live with you, Auditor in Focus, and thanks for staying on. The Office of the Auditor-General has raised the red flag about finances of the DA-led uMngeni local municipality in KwaZulu-Natal. The office has noted large amounts of unauthorized expenditure, including an incurred 100 million rands and non-cash items amounting to 85 million rands in the 2022-2023 financial year. Joining us now to clarify this and, of course, a broader conversation, Martin Meyer, who speaks for the Democratic Alliance in KwaZulu-Natal. He is on cooperative governance. Martin, good to have you, and thank you very much for your time. A worrying report from the Auditor-General at face value, but maybe could clear things if we get into a little bit more details. How do you explain this 84 million deficit that the Auditor-General seemingly has flagged?
First of all, we must understand that the Auditor-General reports for the uMngeni municipality has vastly improved since the Democratic Alliance took over. So from really bad reports from the Auditor-General in the time when the ANC still governed the municipality, to the last two Auditor-General reports being quite positive and improving for the municipality under the DA governments and Mayor and his team, has to be seen within that light. So it's always an improvement. But when you take over a bad municipality, it's like when you take over a bad car, you have to fix it up, clean it up, and do a lot of work before you actually can get it on the road and get it driving. And that's the situation we're finding ourselves in. So a lot of work had to be done to get the municipality turned around. Money had to be spent. A lot of money had to be spent because there was lack of maintenance or other types of things in a municipality. And, this big, deep rot in a municipality that had to be sorted out. To get this audit report to improve, and that's what we have seen. So what we are saying as the Democratic Alliance is, while we, of course, are striving for an absolute clean audit, and that's what we always promise to our voters and to our residents and what we are aiming for, it is a road, it's a process that we are on. But we are also asking the MEC of Corrective, if you're going to put a big glass on the municipality to look at these things that you think that the MEC thinks so scary, why only one municipality, while there are so many much worse municipalities in the province that she seems to just ignore?
So at the heart of this is then what this report entails, a 42 million, it seems, of a write-off, Dean McPherson saying to poor households. Is this part of your electioneering strategy? Why did you decide to write off that amount?
No, it's not an electioneering strategy. It's a strategy of providing direct services to the poor and being a poor-friendly party that really wants to help those who are in need. And these policies already started the moment the DA took over in uMngeni after the 2021 local government elections. And it was part of our promise to the people of uMngeni. It is a municipality that is rural, with a couple of very small towns in it. And it is the people there are very struggling to pay their bills and so much. And therefore, the Democratic Alliance has these policies to assist the poorest of the poor and help them get a leg up so that they can improve their lives and livelihoods.
Yeah, so you've chosen to forego that particular income because of the poor households. And people say, how do you apply that kind of policy where in other places where you govern, for example, in Tshwane, the mayor here intent on going to collect 1.6 billion, I think it's something of money that is owed. And the families in Tshwane are saying, we are poor, we can't pay.
I'm not a Democratic Alliance member in Gauteng, but what I do know of the Tshwane situation is that the biggest defaulter, and we see this all over the country, is actually government. And Tshwane being a government-heavy municipality with so many government buildings there, a lot of the debt is actually having to be brought in from government departments that are just not paying the debt. And we see the same thing in KwaZulu-Natal, where government department owns millions and millions and hundreds of millions in some cases, especially the Department of Education, to many small municipalities that are then struggling to pay their own bills because municipalities or the government, the provincial and national governments are not paying their bills. And I know for a fact that that's very much the same situation in Tshwane. You can't really compare uMngeni, which is a small rural municipality within KwaZulu-Natal, to the situation in Tshwane. And within the wise working of finances in uMngeni municipality, and Mayor Chris Pappas and his team keeps a very close eye on it, they worked out that this is a very workable plan to help those who are in need.
And how does this affect the functioning then of the municipality, the finances of the municipality?
uMngeni Municipality is a well-functioning municipality. It's got money to pay its bills, unlike so many other municipalities that we see. I'm thinking of their neighbours, Newzroom, our capital, Pietermaritzburg, where the cash in hand sometimes falls below 7 days. uMngeni is a viable financial going concern. They can pay their salaries, they can provide services. They provide services far better than any other municipality within KZN. That is a fact. If you're ever in the area, I'll be happy to take you to Howick and show you around. And you can see for yourself how services are actually delivered to all residents, the poor and those who have means in the municipality.
Yeah.
And we also have to see the difference between wasteful expenditure and what is irregular expenditure and what is written off. Yeah. And wasteful expenditure in uMngeni is at below 5,500 rand, according to the report. Then you go to a municipality like Newzroom next door, where their wasteful expenditure stands at 70 million. And it's uMngeni, a city that should have been dissolved, and that we will keep fighting for to be dissolved, whose wasteful expenditure is standing at 579 million. Yet the provincial government is very quiet about those wasteful expenditures. So no, things are well in uMngeni, finances is stable, and there's nothing for people to be concerned about in that respect.
It's the Auditor-General, when the Auditor-General speaks of the accountability ecosystem, that would want to insist on provincial government giving support to local municipalities in terms of the fiscal health and direction. So requesting a clear understanding of where the finances of uMngeni are sitting would not be something that is particularly far from what the Auditor-General would require province to do.
The DA is very clear that we welcome the Auditor-General and the provincial government to come and see the books and have a fair and open discussion with the municipality and with the council about this. We have nothing to hide. The Democratic Alliance believes in a clear government and a transparent government, and we welcome it. Our question is, why only uMngeni? I've served on the Corrective Portfolio Committee for many years now. Every year we see municipality after municipality, all governed by the ANC, flagged by the Auditor-General. The same request coming from the General. Yet our MEC, who rarely wakes from her slumber, refuses to do anything about this municipality. I mean, she's turned a total blind eye to the collapse of the Ugu District Municipality, to the collapse of KwaZulu-Natal, where I'm currently doing oversight, and the total collapse of uMngeni and uMngeni. She just turns a blind eye to it. But suddenly she hears the words uMngeni, and she's jumping up and down, running excitedly around, thinking she's got something over on the DA. So the DA is saying, come, sit down with us. We're happy to discuss this with you and explain why these things were flagged and how it has been actually a vast improvement in what we've inherited from the ANC. But we ask then that the MEC be fair and do exactly the same investigations in all the other municipalities that has been flagged in this province. And I have to also remind you that KZN is the province with the second most municipalities under administration. And uMngeni is nowhere close to have to be in administration. It's a functional municipality, far better than most others. So clearly there's problems in this province, but the MEC is very selective in when she acts. Yeah.
So you completely reject the notion that the municipality has failed to implement prudent financial management, has not adhered to principles of Municipal Financial Management Act, as well as other municipal systems acts and other legislation.
There is obviously room for improvement. If there wasn't room for improvement, it would have been a totally clean audit. So there's obviously room for improvement. But as I explained at the start is a reason why we're only at this point now, and that it's an upwards trajectory. But there is nothing to be concerned about for residents of the municipality and of the province, that everything is happening as it should. The improvement is happening. We've seen 2 of these audits being vast improvements on the previous ones when the ANC governed. And that we are happy to sit down with anyone who wants to come and discuss the financial situation for transparency and explain why we're at this point and how it is still improving. And pretty soon, within the next year or 2, I'll be having this interview discussing with you the clean audits that uMngeni is.
Yeah. See, one of the things that the Auditor-General says whenever an adverse finding is being flagged is to see whether the municipality, especially the accounting officers, have got a plan to rectify that particular situation. So what is the plan that would have been presented to the Auditor-General during the meeting on Friday?
So as I said, there's been a long ongoing plan, and this started to be implemented in 2021 already. A part of the problem is that a lot of the staff that was inherited from the previous administration weren't quite willing to work with the new administration in sorting the problems that we found when we got to the municipality. Many of these senior managers, my last count, I think it was 8, has now left the municipality, which means there's now a vast improvement already. Now we have people working in those positions who are qualified and who are willing to work with the administration to improve things. Furthermore, the municipality has implemented consequence management, something that is totally absent in other municipalities in this province. And that consequence management, as you would well know, is a process because of labor laws and all other laws that we have in this country to protect people. So that process has now started. So consequence management is a very, very important thing that has now started. And then, as I said to you before, we are happy to welcome in the executive from the provincial government to sit down and show them all other measures that's been implemented. This is an upward trajectory, and we are quite excited for the future of uMngeni.
Martin Meyer, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us. KwaZulu-Natal DA Cooperative Governance spokesperson there. Martin Meyer on that call made by the Premier and the MEC of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs in the province.